talking to us about Lameco. He is under Guru Ariel, Flores Moses, and Guru Dino Flores. So I'm going to be bringing them up. But before I do, though, I just wanted to say this Friday at 10, well, Eastern Time, 4 o'clock, Hawaiian Time 10, I'm going to be having Burton Richardson on. And this Friday. So those of you who have questions or that you would have for Burton or what have you, when I make the flyer, you guys can list them in the comments below. But I'll definitely, after seeing it tonight, I'm going to be making a flyer on that so everybody will be aware. But this will be the part 2 of Burton. I'm going to be kind of covering his first school, what made him kind of come about the, you know, colleague for the street modules and all that. So that should be some good, interesting stuff. So again, those of you who are going to catch this and all that, if you can think of questions that you would like to ask him, by all means, listen in the comments section, or you can PM me and I can listen, and then I'll take them into account for him and all that. But again, that is this Friday, 4 Eastern Time, 10 o'clock his time. Apparently, they don't have daylight savings over there, which was new for me to learn. Also, we just got a bunch of new members here. I just want to say, those of you, by all means, take a chance to read kind of what I wrote as far as a mission statement. Again, this is not about like getting huge names on here. In fact, I really like the lesser known people who are actually doing some good work and maybe just never got a platform to talk. And again, I really need and would love to get some women on here. So if you know any or any express interest, by all means, please, let me know. All right, I'm gonna go up and bring Jamie on here. So bear with me. Okay, let's go to message. And here we go. All right, he should be coming up. So again, some good stuff coming up. We got Mark Stewart, Jeff Cruz, some good names, some interesting stuff to talk about. All right, it's good. Just make sure we're running live. Hey, I'm gonna bring up on the screen. Oh yeah, here we go.
All right.
All right. I know you can't see me on there, but no worries. Long as we're running live, and as we already did, we did a test run, so both everybody should be able to see us as they did before, so we should be fine. No worries there. It's just what it is it's what works the best on these things is Apple. There's no glitches or anything like that. With the Galaxy, Samsung, it's it's characteristic where you can't see me and all that, but all I care about is that they can see us on there, which has always been the case. So
yeah,
we should be good. But I want to officially welcome you to FMA Discussion, episode 20. I want to thank you for coming on. Everybody, please welcome Jamie Morris from Lameco.
Hey guys, how you doing?
All right, I'm going to enjoy this one. Being under Dave and all that, I'm going to really enjoy hearing your commentary on there, but and all that. But before we get into that, with the current stat, how are you guys holding up?
Great. Lots of training from my 13-year-old son here, Gavin.
Hi. How are you? Nice to meet you. So this will be the young man that you'll be doing a demo with?
Yeah, a little bit. We'll do a little bit of something. Yeah, sure. Have a little fun.
Sure. Yeah, so strange times, huh? I mean, I know I've never done so much soloing. Like I'm actually sick of looking at Bob and but it's been paying off because Burton recently just reviewed a video I did for Il Shisimo, and he was really, really happy with it. So despite the boredom, there's been, I guess, some positive out of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's given me time to really think about myself when it comes to the arts. And how you reevaluate things, and it gives you
Yeah, oh,
time to really look at yourself in the martial arts world and what you want to do and accomplish. So it's been an interesting time to really think
yeah,
about life.
it's like
Yeah,
you're forced to self-reflect,
yeah, definitely, definitely.
whether you want to, or not. I just
Yeah,
want to see who's just want to just take a moment to say who's on here and say hello. Is that okay?
sure.
Vico, please tell him I like his shirt. I have one myself. All right.
Go.
Yeah, good guy. Mike Frazier from Mississippi. Yes.
Channel at the time.
And
Mike.
Dwight Woods. Oh my goodness. Yes, Dwight, it's good to see you. And on a funny note, Dwight Woods has Bob Landers on Friday, and I am getting popcorn for that. But that's a separate note.
Oh, there we are.
um, but so all right, so just yeah, I know, but like you just to kind of jump off what you're saying, I mean, yeah, it's like you're forced to kind of just introspect and just look at not only just current affairs and what's going on in the world, but kind of right in your own in your own backyard, like with yourself, and kind of reevaluate. And it's funny, it's like from my perspective, there's like things I'm actually reevaluating, like as far as where I'm going to allocate my time when this is done, because you lose sight of it. You get so caught up in the medley and pushing forward, and it doesn't mean though that everything is really the best things you're doing. You're just because of the routine, so to speak. So
Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm getting out of this so far. I don't necessarily think I need till June to do that, but
yeah, right. I hope not. Oh man, I mean, this is so unprecedented. It's
no, I know. Like I was,
nobody really knows what to do, and
I
it's
know,
like
I know, I know. And the thing is, though, there's going to be resistance because let's just say, for instance, this ends like okay, May 15th, band's over and all that, but there's going to be residual. There's going to be
yeah,
like, are you telling me the BJJ guys are just going to jump on the mat? I mean,
yeah,
there's going to be like, there's going to be a couple of weeks there where people are just going to feel out and just see, So I'm thinking realistically, I mean, June,
yeah.
earliest. I don't know.
It's funny
So
when you
that's
say
one
about rolling
deal.
around like BJJ. I joined this Brazilian Jiu Jitsu school recently. Unfortunately, I can't stay. I had back issues. But I was just thinking when I was rolling around there, and I'm 44, and my body just doesn't want to do what it used to do, you know. And
Mhm.
since this being locked down,
Yeah.
you know, I think about we were talking about the things you do, and I think about simplifying life. Like it's so simplified now, but just to break everything down and simplify it more, even my training, like my workouts, like I completely just do body weight training, and then just simplifying all my basic, training as far as whether it comes to Lameco, Illustrissimo, or Manawi's. And then I go back to even more simplification. Like I go back and I'm reading about Grandmaster Illustrissimo and think about going back to that simplicity. And then I have all this land. So the great thing about this art is that I want to promote it like it was supposed to be. Well,
Yeah.
at that time when we have these outdoors, we have this fresh air, we have nature, we got life all around us, and
Right.
I love the fact that matter of fact it was something that Guru Dave when I was down in Mississippi training with him. These are the elements that we train in. This is what we fight in.
Yeah, right. It's not going to be like mats and
Yeah,
closed room and bags and
yeah.
what have you. Yeah.
And
But
nothing against
okay.
any of the arts, but it's like this is the thing I'm proud of. It's like this is the backyard mentality, which I love. And,
Yeah.
so
So what I like to do is just before we jump into the whole FMA, I always like just to get a little background, like pre-FMA, assuming that you just didn't jump into the weapons world.
no, no,
So I'm going to assume, like most of us, some traditional in there.
very little traditional. When I was a kid, I grew up It was a challenging childhood, needless to say. It's my mom was a bartender. We didn't have a lot of money. I moved around a lot of schools, missed a lot of friends. I just had to move all the time. Um,
It's not fun.
it's like everybody's got challenges, and some have more challenges than the other. But in my case, I really we couldn't afford to do any martial arts. So what my mom did, we went to different places. I wrestled and stuff. I did sports. I was big into sports. My son's a very big athlete. Um, we I would do the like the month that you get free.
Yeah, yeah.
So I did like Thanks to do for a month, and then I did what else did I do? I did some taekwondo, but I would do the month thing, but because we would always move, I could never have a continuous, teacher and art,
Gotcha.
um, but because of growing up in a bar and the lifestyle that I was raised in, I hate using the word bikers and stuff, but that's kind of, we kind of grew up in that kind of an atmosphere, so we learned how to fight young. My cousins, like, because I moved a lot, my cousins were my best friends. So we fought a lot as kids. We were always getting in fights. This is back when, kids used to, use fists,
Your hands.
so we fought, we learned that way.
Okay.
So when I was 18, I probably made one of the biggest mistakes of my life, and I wound up going to prison for 4 years.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
No, because if I didn't go to prison, I wouldn't be married.
Okay.
I'll get into that. I'll tell you what, when it comes to fighting, and even since I came home from prison, you look at fighting differently, especially
Mhm.
close quarters. When you're in a cell, or when you're in a confined space and you're around other violent people, you have to learn how to defend yourself very fast.
I can't even
Um,
imagine. But yeah.
yeah, and you kind of look at things differently. Um, because you're surrounded by violence and you have to act violently.
Mhm.
Um, so I did 4 years. My wife was actually my pen pal the last year of my sentence, and we've been together ever since. We've been together 21 years.
Well, fantastic. So
Yeah.
obviously something good came out of that.
Oh yeah, got my son here. I got a beautiful daughter. We got a house. I mean, not everybody that goes away
No,
is
no.
it's but you learn from these things and you grow.
So
Um,
then, so is it safe to say you're like most of us are traditional? Yours is more
Street
pre-FMA
fighting.
background. It sounds like it was pretty much street.
Yeah, street fighting. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and yeah, basically dirty fighting.
Hey,
Pipes from
oh,
fences.
love
Yeah, I mean, when I was away, there's weapons in there. Yeah, I got stabbed. I've stabbed. Um, like I said, it's
it.
just you learn real fast, and there's
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Doesn't sound like you necessarily have a choice. So then, from there, I guess before we get into Lameco, like,
yeah.
and again, well, let's Lameco was the first exposure, then we'll jump into it. But assuming it wasn't, what was your first exposure to FMA? Who and when?
My first exposure. Um, Uh, let me get a quick one in here. JKD
Sure.
was the first thing I got into basically.
Okay.
It was I can't even remember. Yeah, Christ, I'm 44. I can't even remember. It was back then.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted getting into JKD. Um, I loved it.
Yeah.
My teacher was awesome. Um, he was under Professor Gary Dill. I don't know
Okay.
if many people know who Professor Dill is.
Yep. That's a name I've heard of. Yep.
Yeah, he's great. Um, Oh, sorry, I just got a text from Dino. Um,
Uh,
um, yeah, so I wound up training with him. I'm sorry, my teacher, his name was Bill. Um, Bill had some issues going on, and we had to leave. And there's a couple of students that I still have who are with my. Oh, sorry about that.
no worries.
Uh, yeah. Um, I'm sorry. What was I saying? I'm getting distracted.
No, no, no. You had mentioned that you JKD instructor,
Yeah, there's
it
some.
kind
Yeah,
of fell
some
apart.
issues happened. Money, unfortunately, in some are, some teachers get I wouldn't say steal money, use it inappropriately.
Yeah, yeah.
Disappointed a lot of us guys. I loved him to death. I love the guy. My other students that are still with me, you know, they've hung with me, you know, and I didn't want to tell Professor Dill about everything that was happening, so I wound up leaving SDS, Self Defense Systems, JKD, and I wound up going to train under Paul Vunak,
Okay.
and
That's
so I went out to California. So it was like the first time in California, and that was really my first exposure to JKD.
and then the weapons, obviously,
Yeah,
their
yeah,
programs run concurrent. They, if you're doing JKD, you're doing weapons. If you're doing the weapons, you're doing JKD.
yeah.
It's always been my understanding. Just that's the kind of the way I got it from the ensemble. And if you would, you were getting both. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Whether I shouldn't say whether you liked it or not. It's just the way it was packaged. It
Yeah,
sounds like that's kind of what you got or received initially.
yeah. It was a very short lived thing the way it happened. Um, I, I I don't know how to explain it. We were out in Orange County. We went out to, what was it called? Jay Cooper and some of the other JB Yeager knows what I can't remember where it was. Anyway, JB Yeager, who I think you know already, he said
Oh
hi
yeah,
to the Jay Cooper,
yeah.
Paul Bundia. We actually we called ourselves the Four Horsemen out there.
Okay, I
We all
remember
just
reading that
we
somewhere.
clicked. Yeah, we clicked, and we're this little group. Um, and like I said, it really blew me away when I really saw the stick fighting. It's like, wow, this was like new. Like I didn't know JKD was out about this because Professor Dill, that's not that's not
Yeah,
their kind of JKD. I think he's more Kempo oriented. So I really didn't see that much with Professor Dill. Um, like I said, that's just his path with
yeah.
JKD, and with the group I was with in California, um, that was it. I was like,
So that was as
wow,
far as that was your first exposure to the stick.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Um,
Um,
any knife or
so,
just stick?
oh well, yeah, the whole it was a big whole. What was it like? I was out there for 4 or 5 days, and we had this big weekend seminar. It was in the
Yeah.
sun and the beach. It was awesome. It
No.
was probably the most memorable experience because I've never gotten so sick from drinking so much.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. We partied the last night so hard that I threw up so much that I had to throw the tent away. And then trying to drive JB Yeager home back to the airport, it was a nightmare. I've never drank that much ever since. It was
Well,
the greatest. It was an awesome trip, but it was just insane ending. Um,
so was it more? Was it basically the Ansano blend? Is that fair to say from Paul?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It was
Okay.
cool because it was who else was there? I'm sorry, I can't think everybody was
Yeah.
there.
No,
But
no, yeah.
anyway,
No worries.
I'll get to
Yeah.
I'll get to the next thing. Well, anyway, so after this, we got home. I got a call, and I met this guy named Lance Parvin, and he hit me up, and he's from New Jersey, and he said, "Listen, would you like to come out to Las Vegas and train with my teacher, go to Ariel Moses?" So I went out there, and
Okay.
I was hooked.
So
After meeting him,
I don't mean to interrupt you.
um,
Can I just far as a year, just generally, it doesn't have to be accurate, but like what year was your first meeting with Guru Ariel?
that was 7, 8 years ago, maybe.
All right, so 2012, 13,
Yeah,
thereabouts.
probably. I
Okay.
guess. Yeah.
So this would be your first. Okay, so from going from the Asano blend, your first exposure, this is where you actually have first seen Lameco
Yeah.
and that little bit. Okay, let's hit it. All right.
So, yeah, he just from what I saw at the California seminar to this, it was different because it wasn't Lameco, and Guru Ariel teaches Manawis also and Illustrissimo also.
Yeah.
So he just laid it out, and I was just like hooked. And um, yeah, I haven't when I was with him, that was it for me. That was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. That
Um,
sometimes you get like a revelation or
yeah,
something that's just, it works for you.
yeah.
And yeah.
You know, I have injury issues too, so that was the great thing about it too, is because I can't roll like I want to anymore. And at this point in my age, like you think about Grandmaster Illustrissimo, it's the limited mobility aspect of it. You know, you can be
Mhm.
older and still do
Yeah.
FMA, which is
Right.
great, especially at this age.
Yeah.
Sorry if I keep getting off track.
No,
Um,
no, 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 no. So, all right. So when you went out there, was this just more of a like kind of like a meet and greet? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yeah. Okay.
little
Okay.
training, especially with Lance. Yeah, like I said, we when I got introduced, when I came over to train with Lance, and then he introduced me to Guro Ariel.
Okay.
And that's basically when it started. And he could see that I was really passionate about this, and that's when he had, invited me to, to learn under him. So
Okay.
it was really a real honor.
No, no,
Um, yeah,
fantastic. So now, so circa 2012, 2013, were you going there like what, every few months, or like how were you getting your time in with him?
yeah, I was getting in there. I would go at first. I was going, I guess, like I did two times, 3 times a year.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I would go for like 4 or 5 days, 6 days. Almost a week every time I would go because I wanted to get
Mm.
in as much as I could.
Sure, sure.
Um, yeah, and then just and then training with Lance. And then he introduced me to Dino, his cousin, and basically it turned into a family
Yeah,
situation. And because of the way I grew up, and they just took me in, it turned into this. Wow, I didn't really have much of a family situation growing up,
yeah.
so this turned into that family situation that I needed.
Okay, so no, that's fantastic. And so what was the time gap? And not that this is incredible, I'm just curious for my own sake.
Yeah.
Where Dino came into the picture as far as training, was it was it right away, or was
No, it was
there?
like it was the following seminar. I'm sorry, my timelines. I really don't
Yeah,
think
no
about
worries.
how many.
It's more curiosity, more just
Yeah, I
curiosity.
guess the next time I had gone out to Vegas, he was out there, and I got
Okay,
to. That's when I got to meet Guro Dino.
okay,
Yeah, and it was just because they're cousins, and it was like I said, it was them being family, bringing me in, and then that family. So after that, Guru Ariel had given me permission to also go train with Guru Dino in Los Angeles. So then
okay.
it was Los Angeles and Las Vegas trips.
Oh, so you were okay. So you were seeing both. Okay.
Yes.
Let's just okay, good, because this is where I really kind of want to get into it. I just wanted to see if anybody. You gotta get it right. Yes, but thank you for coming on, Dwight. Absolutely, we'll talk soon. Absolutely.
See you, Dwight.
Um, yeah, good guy. Um, just for because I mean I have an understanding of Lameco, obviously through